Yo, welcome to the Vibe Provider podcast. I'm your host, Caitlin Friel, and we got a special guest. Her name is
Emily.
Say what's up.
What's up, guys? Super excited to be here.
Oh, man. So we've literally been laughing for like 10 minutes before we even before I could even say the intro. Dude, that's how this episode's about to go. I don't have notes, guys, and she has ADHD, and I have ADHD, so best of luck to all of us. Us talking here on the podcast, and you as a listener. Like, buckle up, please. You're gonna need it. So, Emily is here on the podcast because in 2023, there's a you're gonna know where I edit. You're gonna be like, oh, she's about to edit that. If I start repeating myself over and over, you're like, oh, she's cutting that out.
Well, that's good to know because I'll probably just repeat myself 20 times and be like, pick the best one.
Yeah, honestly, sometimes I'll be like, and then I'll say it perfectly, and you're like, we know she's cutting it there. I say it 3 times, and you're like, okay. So, Emily's on the podcast because in 2023, there were a lot of new Swifties. And there are a lot of seasoned Swifties in the world. And they make TikToks, and then we don't understand. We don't know. We're like, when did this happen? Why are we talking about what's an Easter egg? We're like, wait for us. Someone please explain. And Emily's here to explain.
I got you guys.
I asked Emily to be on the podcast because I don't know anyone that's a bigger Swiftie than her. And I know some Swifties. But tell them about the 10-page paper. Just tell them what you wrote. Don't pretend. Don't pretend on me. We're on air. People downloaded this. You wrote something about Taylor Swift, like a 10-page paper.
Did I? Did I tell you that I did?
Ma'am.
When did I tell you that?
Go on your Google Docs. It's in there.
Oh, I did.
I was like, oh no. I was like,
sorry.
Ma'am.
I did.
How could...
Sorry. I'm sorry. That's so small in my Swiftie journey.
She's like, that's not even a dent.
That's a little blip that I totally forgot about that. I remember I met Caitlin and she was found out that I was a Swiftie and she wanted to know more about Swiftie culture. And so I started
start from the beginning, please.
Yep. So I wrote her a little 10-page thing about different Swiftie lore. And I talked for 5 pages about Joel Alwyn. Honestly, and about why, what happened there and all the different theories with that.
So when I heard that she had that, I was like, all right, perfect. You're the one to initiate us all into the Swiftie culture. So
I got you guys.
Yeah, dude. If that doesn't say we have the right person here to teach us, I don't know what else to tell you. But before we get into the topic, and I'm just letting you know, this is going to be a 4-part series. Welcome to part 1, Swifties. Mm-hmm. Or if you're just here to listen because you're like, this could be interesting. Dude, stay. Listen to the whole episode. Part 1, debut, fearless, speak now.
Yes, ma'am.
And a little bit of and we're always going to do what's new with Taylor before we get into the topic.
Always.
But so that's part 1. That's what we're talking about today. We're talking about how she became a Swiftie, etc. If you want to know how many times I said that, just guess. I think 3, 4. But I cut it out so you don't know.
I'm not going to snitch on you. I know. I'm not going to say.
Bless. See, this is why I'm I can trust her to be on the podcast to teach us all. Mm-hmm. And she's a teacher, so it just makes sense.
Yep.
But before we get into the topic, we're going to ask her... Whoa, I went a little crazy there. We are going to start with life updates, then we're going to ask her our get to know you questions, and then we're going to get into the topic. But remember, we have ADHD, so just like pray for us. Be like, you can do it. So please forgive us. Like, really. We're going to try our best. And I don't have a paper, and I literally have a paper every time. So
we're just flying by the seat of our pants right now.
I don't even have my phone in here. Oh yeah,
my phone.
We're really just flying by the seat of our pants.
Is that a thing? Phone? Yeah.
Did I say that right?
I believe so.
I shouldn't be saying things like that when I have a podcast. I should just know, like, don't say those things.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is, or I've been saying it wrong my whole life.
My mom makes them up. Like, she'll be like, John Washington did, like, and I'm like, Mom, you made that up. She's like, no, they've been saying it forever. Is this our text thread?
Yes.
Oh, bless. She's a teacher. Always prepared.
Always prepared.
Do you want me to go first, or do you want to go first?
I don't care.
You go first.
You're
the guest. You go first.
Okay. I guess my life updates are that I have been going to the gym lately because I'm trying to get skinny for my wedding. I'm a fiance. I'm getting married in December. Don't have a place picked out. Don't have a date. It's stressing me out. But I'm super excited.
Pick it right here, right now, right on the... I'm kidding.
Boom, this place. But anyway, so I'm super excited. But I just want to look and feel great for my wedding day. So I've been going to the gym more.
Okay.
And I got like a little personal trainer who's been working with me, and she's super cool.
Oh, bless.
Yeah. And like I went to this water, like I was a lifeguard growing up. And I would always watch like the little old ladies doing like water aerobics. And I was always like, that would be so sick to do. And then I found out that the gym I'm going to does water aerobics.
What?
And so I've been so excited. And my first class is tomorrow to do the water aerobics. And I'm so excited.
You're going to have to text me because
I will.
Me too on the back.
Yeah. No, you can come if you want.
Dang. That's cool.
No, I'm super excited. And then I went and saw a musical I've always wanted to go see on Saturday. It was super fun.
Which one?
6.
Bless.
6, the musical. I loved it. It was so good. I was like in perpetual state of chills the whole time.
Dude, that's honestly not surprised.
Yeah, it was
musical
awesome.
Or Broadway shows do that to a person.
Mm-hmm. It was awesome.
Dude, what else?
I need to grade these papers. I need to grade. I was really hoping to say that I had them graded, but that did not pan out.
She's like, I'm only grading these to be able to say I did it in my life update on the podcast.
Mm-hmm. So hopefully next time, next update, I can say that I have graded them.
Dude, that's sick. I'm excited for you to see your results.
Thank you.
4 weeks. You feel it? No. 4 weeks, something.
I think you feel it.
6 weeks, your friends notice. 8 weeks, you notice.
Yeah.
So
something like that.
Dude, that's going to be sick.
Thank you. I'm very excited. I'm hoping it works out.
Well, she told me, and I was like, ooh, there's a gym by my house, the same one. I'm like, I should sign up, and we like go to your gym, go to my gym, because why not?
Well, I'm going to be honest. I listened to Kala's episode, and he kept talking about accountability.
You're like, ooh.
And I was like, that's like my biggest like red flag. That's my biggest. I can't. Ugh. I have like a hard time with accountability because I'll be like, I'll do it for like a week or two, and then I'll be like, I don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
And so I'm hoping having that trainer, I'll be like having her be like, well, you got to come and you got to do it. And I'll be like, all right, but I think if you come with me too.
Well, if you're like, because okay, let's say you're not meeting up with your trainer, and you're like, okay, I'm going to go to the gym later, and then you get home from work, and you're like, never mind. Yeah. But if you know, like, someone's waiting there for you, you're like, well, even if I didn't want to go, like, I got to now.
Yeah, well, like, yesterday, I had a science professional development. It was a long day, and I was like, I don't want to go to the gym and do all this hard work, but then I was like, but I have to. She's waiting for me. Like, I have to go, and so I think that's going to really help.
One thing I forget about is, like, the, like, second wind you get. Like, I feel like I get, like, so energized that I'm, like hyped up on caffeine when I get home. It was just working out did it to me.
Yeah.
So it's like, I know I feel good after. It's just, like, the oomph to get you there.
I agree. What's your life update, Caitlin?
Thanks for asking. Life update. I literally knew what I was going to say, but now that we're here, I don't have notes, and it just right out of my head. So, life updates. I'm driving to Ontario, Oregon, which is like on the border of Boise, Idaho, and I'm taking 40 bags of cans.
I think that's iconic.
She saw them.
It was iconic. She is the legend. I love her.
So, and you're like, Caitlin, why did you do that to yourself? So, my parents live in Washington, and a lot of the times when they visit, they drive because they're hitting up all the kids because we all live off the I-15. So, I recycle, and I would just like put them in the recycling bin, and my mom's like, oh, I'm gonna take these and I'm gonna get 10 cents for these suckers, and I'm like, pop off, queen, like, do what you need to, girl, get that money. And so every time they'd visit, I would save the cans for them, and they would take them back, and I'd be like 2-3 bags. Then they went on a 2-year mission, and I couldn't stop saving them. I legit physically could not stop. So I was storing garbage bags of cans in my garage. 40 bags. Well, like 42 to be exact. And I legit like looked at Claw multiple times in the last 2 years, and I was like, please, let's just donate. Like, let's just go to recycling and get rid of them. He's like, no. Like, he was gonna drive them.
He wants that money.
Anyways, I cleaned it. Oh, that was one of my life updates. I cleaned my garage.
It's like,
give me a badge.
It looked great. It looked wonderful.
Employee of the month in my house. So I cleaned the garage, and I put all the cans where my car goes, so I would be forced to take them and be able to park in my garage again. So I convinced my niece Kaylee to do a 1-day road trip. We leave at 6 a.m. It's a 5.5 hour drive to Ontario, Oregon. We're going to the bottle drop, taking 40 garbage bags of cans in. We're cashing out. We're going to break even, hopefully. It makes absolutely no sense. People are like, what? $200 in cans and $200 in gas. Kala still wants me to go, okay?
You're gonna have a good time.
So we're waking up at 6 a.m. We're leaving. We're gonna get there. Hopefully it'll take 2 hours or less. That's what I'm manifesting. We get right back in the car. We drive 5.5 hours home. So that's an update. The garage was an update. Yeah, that's my life update.
Love that for you.
I know I wrote stuff down. I'm gonna be mad at myself, but you know what? It'd be like that sometimes. When I'm trying to wing it, this is what happens. Anyways, we really need to save the time for Taylor anyways, let's be honest.
Yes.
Okay, honestly, this is probably my favorite part of the episode, is the get to know you questions. And I know a lot of you like to think of the answers you would give to, so that kind of makes me feel good when we're asking these questions.
I've been thinking about them since episode 1.
Facts. She did tell me that. Okay. What is in an Emily Smith starter pack?
I've thought long and hard about this, and it's been an agonizing.
But you actually have 2 starter packs.
Yes.
You have Emily Smith and Mrs. Smith.
Yes. There's 2. I'll just
actually, Miss Smith. Then you're like Mrs. Mahone.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways.
I get it.
Emily Smith is current you.
Yes. And I won't do teacher.
Well, maybe we're going to have her come on because, we're going to have her come on for Taylor's wedding. So
obviously. I'll do it then.
Yeah.
But mine is...
Number one
is a Lululemon belt bag. I'm obsessed. I have 2. I have a black and a gray one.
2? Is she obsessed? Is she obsessed with only 2?
I want more.
I know.
I really want the light purple.
Ooh, that's
but
her
I
color.
Can't find it anywhere. My second thing is a Stanley. Yep. I always got a Stanley on lock. I have like 10, maybe 12.
Okay, Bougie, tell us you're rich without telling us you're rich, bro.
I use Afterpay.
Most relatable thing she'll probably say this whole episode.
Probably.
You can't even get it out.
Three is a Burt's Bees,
Yep.
the classic OG. I have one on my car keys. I have one in my purse. I have one in my car. I have one in my school desk. I have one on my side table at home. I have one everywhere.
Yeah.
I always got to have one of those.
That's like $20 in Burt's Bees right there.
Yeah, but it's worth it.
Okay, number 4.
Okay, this is kind of niche, but a Taylor Swift popcorn bucket. Love it. The pink one. Filled with popcorn, buttery popcorn, and like sprinkled with Nerds gummy clusters. If I don't have one of those a day, my day's ruined.
Ruined.
It's my favorite snack.
Dude, that's amazing.
Thank you. And then number 5 is the Hemp's hand cream, the blue one. Specifically.
What does it smell like?
Beautifulness. I don't know. I just love it. I think I have one in my...
Is it tropical or is it like
it's
vanilla-y?
tropically. It's tropically.
Ooh, yeah.
But it's my favorite. I think there's one in my Lulu out there.
Oh, dang.
Right now. But I love them. I have one in my desk and I have one in my Lulu. So.
And those aren't cheap, people. Mm-hmm. Afterpay.
Afterpay. Patrick, if you're listening to this.
LOL, we're just joking,
LOL.
Patchett.
Sure.
Okay. What is your fun drink?
My fun drink. It is a Mountain Dew with...
Well, let me pause you right
Yes.
there.
Okay.
On the phone it says, depends on which sody shop. Sody shop I'm at.
It depends.
Okay, so let's say Quench It because that's your favorite.
Okay, Quench It is my favorite. It would be a Mountain Meach. That is Mountain Dew, mango, peach. And then my little thing is I add coconut cream to it. It's delicious.
But, what did she say? It was so... Okay. With the sody question, add coconut cream to it and it literally would pass away for it.
I would.
That's what she texted me.
Yes, I would. Quite literally. If someone was like, you gotta die and have your Mountain Meach with coconut cream, I'd be like, aight.
She's in prison and it's her last meal before they execute her. And they're like, what do you want your last meal to be? And she's like, whatever the drink is, just add coconut cream, please.
It's delicious. It slaps.
Oh, love it. Okay. Okay. Who would be your celeb bestie?
Taylor Swift, obviously.
I'm leaving the pause.
Universe?
That long pause, I'm leaving that in there. But now I just ruined it with me.
The multiverse.
The ADHD.
I'm trying my best.
No, me, dude. Not you. You're killing it. Okay. Taylor Swift. Why? Because you just love her?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we'd be pals.
Yeah, she's so freaking nice. And you're so freaking nice.
Thank you. I think she's hilarious, too.
Yeah.
Like, I love watching interviews with her. Because I think people don't think she's funny.
She's
hilarious. And so I think we'd get along.
What's like the humor? She's like spunky.
Yeah. And it's like a dry humor, too.
Yeah.
And I feel like I kind of have a little bit of a dry humor.
Facts.
And so I think we'd get along great.
I love it. What's on your wish list for under $500? I don't know. I'd just be swiping, tapping, all the things, you know?
Yes.
That's what she
I'd be
texted me.
afterpaying. Like, I'm gonna be real. If I want it, I'm gonna afterpay it. And if I have that like money, I'm like
Beep.
No, that doesn't happen at all, Dad, Mom, or Patrick.
LOL.
LOL.
But you did write something.
Yes, I do. I think I would really want like a nice sewing machine.
What are you sewing?
I think it'd be cool.
She doesn't know yet. She just wants.
Well, I'm going to be honest. I'm a short person.
Oh.
I got big hips. Like.
It'd be like that.
And so, like, I'd like to be able to trim my own pants.
Yeah, because you need petite everything.
Yeah.
See, I need the extra. So I'm like,
Yeah. So I think I'd want it. Like, I'd want to have a sewing machine so that I can trim my own pants. And then I think it'd be cool to, like, make my own shirt.
Yeah.
Like, I see a cute pattern on, because I am on, like, designer TikTok where people design clothes.
I'm on sewing TikTok too, dude.
Yeah.
We have the same TikTok feed.
We probably do.
Yeah.
But, like, I think it's always so cool. And so it's kind of like what I want right now.
I send them to my mom and I'm like, can you make this for me? And she just rolls her eyes and is like, I'm already working. No, she doesn't sound like that. I'm sorry, Mom. Let me start over. Because she's listening. She is like, yes, let me make that for you because she's an angel. But I will say, sometimes she's like, girl, can I finish this project first? And I'm like, ay, what you doing, dude? You're retired, please. Like, you're my mom. Like, that's your like, you had me. I'm your responsibility, you know? Like,
make me what I want.
LOL, just kidding, Mom. She knitted me 2 checkered print beanies. Cute. So
I saw them.
I have to, like, give her a break so she the phone got dark. She's gotta get her own projects in, so I'm just trying to, like, be patient, but I'm like, how long are these projects about to take?
Well, I'm currently knitting a little cat, like a little crochet cat.
On brand for you.
It's taken me like 4 weeks, because I, like, the little tail part that I have to crochet is just too hard, and then I get frustrated and I say, I'm not doing it anymore.
I feel that to my core.
I need to do it again, but
I feel like I'm patient with people and kids. I'm not patient with projects and like sewing and house projects because I'm like, I need it done within an hour because that's all the times, like, that's all my brain will allow.
Yeah, I get that.
So
I relate to that.
What is your current TV show and your favorite TV show?
So I'm currently watching Ugly Betty. It's really funny. I love it.
Okay.
And or The Tudors, but it kind of depends on my mood, and it's kind of been more Ugly Betty.
Because it makes you LOL.
Yeah, makes me LOL.
It'd be like that. Dude, what's your all-time favorite show?
Either Super... Oh, and I forgot to put this on the text.
Oh, okay.
But I'm going to be honest. I have to, like, alternate between the same 3 shows to, like, fall asleep to.
I get it.
So, Superstore.
Yes.
Hilarious. Second, Modern Family. Oh. Makes me cackle.
Yeah.
Every single time. And I feel like every single time I've rewatched it, there's always, like, 4 episodes that I've never seen before. And they're, like, funnier than the rest. Like, they crack me up every single time. Then I think my ultimate favorite one is Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
I think I personally identify as Leslie Knope. Yeah. Like, just the extra everything.
So, because of those 3 shows, I'm curious to see why you haven't said The Office.
I do like The Office.
It's just not as funny.
It's just not as funny to me.
Okay.
Like,
but you're younger than me.
Yeah.
So, it makes sense.
Yeah. Like, I think The Office is funny. Don't get me wrong. But I just think Parks and Rec is, like, more my style.
Okay.
Superstore is more my style, and Modern Family's more my style. But I do think it's funny.
Okay.
Like, Patrick and I do quote I like the smell of bacon in the morning thing to each other constantly.
Oh, that episode. What is your current hyperfixation?
Right now I went, like I said earlier, I went and saw Six, the musical. And so it's right now The Tudors, because I don't know if you're familiar what Six is about, but it's about Henry VIII's 6 wives.
Yes.
And it's about them having a competition to see who had, like, a worse time with Henry VIII. And so I'm kind of watching, like, the probably more historical, accurate version of what happened.
Oh, you forgot to tell us something.
What?
In your life update.
What?
Or I guess, okay, so that's your current hyperfixation because you just did see the Broadway show 6. Yes. But remember the last time we were together and you were telling me about the plane crash?
Yes.
That was wild.
I watched my other, like, last week's hyperfixation was the Andes Mountain crash of the rugby football team. Yeah. I feel like that's a contradiction of each other. Like, I think it was just rugby.
But they crashed in the Andes.
Yeah, they crashed into the Andes. And there's a really good Netflix movie about it that I watched, but I did have to watch it in, like, little increments because it freaked me out.
crazy.
It was crazy.
It like gives you every detail, even if you don't want every detail.
And actually, I listened to this other podcast, the podcast on the left, and they
Yes.
went even more into gory, gross detail than I told you.
We're
And
talking
even the
about
show.
people eating
People.
dead people. I'm so sorry, I had to say it. and just all the things.
Yes.
So that was one of her hyperfixations,
Yeah.
and I was like, sheesh, that is dark, fam.
I feel like that's how it is, though. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know why I get, like, fascinated by that stuff, but then I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
You can edit that part out.
No, we're leaving it. I try to update my hyperfixation. I would say getting rid of everything. Like,
Love.
I'm literally giving Emily a bag of pants she didn't ask for.
I'm excited.
And I'm like, please take these. And she's, the other day, I literally texted her and I was like, hey, I have some pants for you. And she's like, okay, cool. And just the other day, she's like, okay, how much do I owe you? And I was like, what? I was like, no, just take them off my hands, please.
I know, but
Like, they still have life left. Like, they're too good for Goodwill, but like, but I can't keep them because I just have too many, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, they need to go to a good home.
Yeah, I'll take them.
So anyways, my hyperfixation is just like, get rid of everything, you know?
That's awesome.
So I started with the garage, and now I'm in, like, now the ADHD in me wants to do every room, and I physically have to, like, stop myself and be like, one room at a time. But, like, then my brain's like, oh, I need to go. No. Stop. You're only focusing on this room. So that's my hyperfixation. I'm just trying to get rid of all the things.
Yes, I love that for you.
Topic time. So I typically have notes because the ADHD will get us off course. And I also have, like, questions that go along with the topic to keep us on track. But I'm the new Swiftie. I'm the one that wants to know the Easter eggs and all the things. And so I didn't know what to write down to ask because she's literally starting from the top.
I got you.
So please, first, actually, no. Stop it right there. We need to talk about the Bills and the Chiefs game and how Taylor was in the suite with Jason and Kylie, and it was so cute. Yeah. And I will say, I'm going to say my thing real quick, and then you talk about whatever you want to, but the cutest thing that I saw from TikTok is Jason picking up that little girl with the sign, holding her in front of the window of the booth, or like the, yeah. And so Taylor could see her and wave to her. And I was like, he is a national treasure.
No, he is a national treasure. Listen, I don't know much about football. At our mutual friend's wedding, I had to ask her husband. I was a little tipsy. But I remember I had to be like, I'm going to come talk to you about football. And he was like, all right. And then I was like, so what does Travis do? And he had to, like, what's a tight end?
Oh, yeah.
And he had to sit there and tell me what a tight end was. I don't remember.
Sometimes he blocks, sometimes he scores touchdowns.
Yeah, that's what I gathered from what my fragmented memory has. But I remember being like, I need to know what Travis does.
Yeah, because he's important to us now.
Yes, he is.
He wasn't important, and now he is.
Now he is. Like, I've watched the Kelsey documentary. I think Jason, Kylie, the whole group, national treasures, need to be protected at all costs.
Yeah.
Like, Swiftie Twitter had been waiting for, like, Kylie and Taylor to finally meet because they're both, like, 5'11", tall queens.
Yeah.
Like, tall blonde queens from Philly. They're both from Philly. And so you were all, like, everyone had been waiting for them to finally meet. I screamed when we finally got that little clip of them talking, and they look like they're having a good time. Adorable. Like, I was so excited. I cannot even tell you.
But before that, you texted the group chat, and she told us that she was watching the game, and Travis did heart hands, or heart.
Yes, he did. So he made a little touchdown.
A little one. Just a teensy one.
And he turned around and like was blowing kisses. And I'm not familiar with the stadium. So I'm not quite sure if it was towards Taylor, Jason.
No, I think so.
You think so? That's what people are saying, but sometimes with Swiftie Twitter, you have to be careful, you know?
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to be careful. But, and then, like, he was blowing kisses, and then he turned around, did the heart hands.
And you screamed.
I screamed. I was so excited, because, like,
Love.
Fearless, that's, like, all Fearless is. Not all that Fearless is, but that's a huge part of, like, the Fearless era is the heart hands.
Yeah.
And so... like, it was a pretty big deal.
What's this? Come on, you know it.
You messed me up.
She's like,
she wears short skirts. I wear t-shirts. She's cheer captain and I'm on the bleachers,
dude.
Dreaming about the day.
Oh, she's still going. She's like, you're like, should I finish?
Finish the song and then do the next track. My new favorite meme is Jason standing shirtless outside of the little suite and like screaming.
So there's a meme and it was him arms in the air screaming shirtless, and then you swiped and it's Taylor at like the GMAs or whatever the singing thing is.
Yeah, and it's the Elmo.
Yeah, and then she's like doing the same thing and it's like same vibes.
And
it's like, dude, obviously. Mm-hmm. Okay, before we get into like debut Fearless Speak Now.
Yes.
I don't know if you know this, but before Travis and Taylor, there are people out there that hate Travis.
Really?
I knew you wouldn't know this.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, like a lot.
Really?
Like,
for why?
For why?
He's a national treasure.
Okay, so rumor has it is he's just like he knows he's good. He's like a showboat kind of, you know what I mean?
I don't know much about football, but I know he is good.
Like, he could literally be a fugitive, and I'm like, I love Travis. He is a gem.
He is a gem.
And he's perfect for our girl Taylor.
He is.
So with football, it's like there's people either love them or hate them. And I think with Travis, people either love him or hate him. And so, yeah, there's people who like are just not big fans.
Yeah, I actually saw a video of when Jason jumps out of the suite shirtless, and he's like kind of running up to people and like drinking beer and doing all this stuff. Like the camera person's like, oh, I hate this guy. And I was just like the whole time I was watching it, I was like, okay, but you're witnessing a national treasure. It's like Queen Kylie and Queen Taylor are in the suite behind him, and you're being a hater.
That camera guy fired. That is rude.
Yeah, but people said that Travis was blowing the kisses and like doing the heart hands because like Bills fans were being mean to Taylor like the whole week before the game.
Oh, really?
And there was like multiple, like I saw a sign that said like, welcome to Buffalo, Taylor, you suck.
They didn't mean that.
Yeah. Then I saw another thing where like it was Taylor's head on a popsicle stick and they like dumped like fluid in the fire.
You know what? Not everyone's a Taylor Swift fan, and hopefully, if you're not a Taylor fan but you're still listening, what's up? Love you.
Love you.
Yeah. So I just wanted to tell you that, like, because I knew you weren't into football before all of this. Before Taylor started dating Travis, but yeah, there are some Travis haters, which is like, I mean, it'd be like that sometimes, but
there's Taylor haters.
Yeah,
they're crazy, but
red flag. Oh, you don't like Taylor? Red flag. No.
Flag.
But I forgot to tell you guys how me and Emily freaking know each other. You're like getting to
I was kind of waiting, but I didn't want to be like,
I know.
Caitlin.
That's my bad. Literally right. ADHD. I don't have that freaking paper.
That's
so
right.
Me and Emily met at a bridal shower for our mutual friend. And
shout out to you, Meg. Love you.
She's gonna be on the pod next when I go to Denver.
Hell yeah. Oh, sorry.
Beep. No, Meg is a nurse, and so she's gonna tell us all the scary things about nurses. It's so spooky.
Yes.
Yeah, so we have a mutual friend, Megan. And so we met at this bridal shower. Very next day, we're driving to Vegas together for the bachelorette. And she is so cute, so nice, including, okay, get a couple of drinks in this girl, completely different person. Honestly, I don't know which one I like more. Do I like regular Emily or a little bit tipsy Emily? Emmy. I can't get your name out. What the heck? Okay, so that's how we know each other. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were in a club, and she's like, "Where's the Taylor Swift songs?" And I was like, "You know what? How about you go talk to the DJ, my girl?"
I never did.
Couple of drinks in her, and she was ready to go to bed. She was ready for bed. So, anyway, so that is our first time together. Is a bachelorette trip, and literally, I had such a good time that when she said she was getting married, I was like, I know we just met, but can I come to your bachelorette? She's like, you know what? Why not? For sure. You're
it's
invited.
Be a party. You're invited. The world's best DD right here.
What up? You're a girl. Put that on my resume, please. So that's how we met. And honestly, I'm the type of person that I'm like, I like you way more than you like me right now. Like, I was like, this is her energy. I feel like we're just very similar.
I'm gonna cry.
And I was like, I think I just met my soul sister. So anyways, she became like instant friend. Like, I don't know if it's mutual.
It is mutual.
But yeah. So that's like how we met. And then, so we've only known each other for just a couple of months. But yeah. Okay. Now I swear on my life we're getting to the topic, okay?
Yes, we are.
Because we have 4 parts. So we're going to have to save some of these Emily and Caitlin stories for part 2, 3, 4. So, okay. Before we get into debut, you're going to tell us how you became a Swiftie.
Yes. Okay. I was in 5th grade and I was in the library. We were at library, obviously. And I am looking and I find a book that was like an abridged version of Romeo and Juliet. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And another girl in my class comes up to me and she's like, oh, like the Taylor Swift song? And I was like, who's that? And she was like, you don't know Taylor Swift? And I was like, who is that? And so she was like, oh my goodness. And so we go back to class and we're listening to music and she sends me Love Story. So I listened to Love Story. I'm obsessed. Instant obsession. Like, I love her. Like, I don't stop listening to her. And then it turns out that one of my best friends was also a Swiftie. Never told me about her. But
fake friend.
But
friend.
But then I also had like someone to listen to her constantly with. Like, I very vividly remember when Speak Now came out and us listening to Speak Now, and we weren't allowed to sing the proper lyrics to Better Than Revenge. And I'll explain that lore later in the pod. But and so, like, I very vividly remember when We Are Never Getting Back Together dropped, and that was life-changing. Yeah. Then, like, I listened to her so much that when she had her Christmas album, she played Last Christmas, and I played Last Christmas so much that my dad just banned the song Last Christmas from the house. He said, we're not listening to Last Christmas anymore. No more. Yeah, so that's how I became a Swiftie. It was just kind of an instantaneous thing from 5th grade library.
Which is like such a cute song. Like, that song is probably that's such a well-known song that I feel like I've seen like TikToks of NFL football players and like, what's your favorite Taylor Swift song?
That story.
And they say that.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's how you became a Swiftie.
Yes.
Please. Debut. What do we need to know?
So Taylor,
we got our notes off. We have our notes. We're ready.
So Taylor Allison Swift was born.
Taylor Allison
was born December 13th, 1989. She was born in Pennsylvania. I don't know where, but that's
on a tree farm.
She lived on a tree farm for many, many years. So she lived on a tree farm. She loved music growing up, and one Christmas, I believe it was in, I don't know, I have no idea what year it was, but one year she got a guitar for Christmas and she started writing songs. She wrote many different songs. I don't know, like she wrote I'd Lie. The ADHD is ADHD. I can't think of.
I was going to say, are we supposed to know what
ones.
this song is?
No, because it's never really been released. It's kind of more of a little...
But Swifties would
like
know.
Swiftie would know.
And
like
now
Swifties
we
would
know.
Yeah. And
What's
now
the
you
song
know.
called?
I'd Lie.
Okay.
Yeah.
So our first thing that we just found out that will make us a true Swiftie.
Yes. And then, so she was discovered at Bluebird Cafe in Tennessee.
Oh, cute.
Oh, I forgot to mention, her family, like she had such big dreams of becoming a star that her family moved her from Pennsylvania to Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh, that's amazing.
And her mom would like drive her around and they'd take their CDs and like her demos places. Like she had a little fan website. It was super fun.
It's so important for parents to be...
No, supportive.
Yeah, like to be like, yeah, you can do this and I'll help you get there.
Yeah, and I'm going to be honest, like I love Andrea. Their names are Andrea and Scott. And like I love them because they're so supportive. Like I don't think they've ever missed a show.
That's wild.
Like, they've like, it's been like at the Eras tour, it was a common thing to say hi to Mama Swift because
and
Dad Swift.
Yeah.
Because like he would be there.
Yeah.
And like,
and people would give him friendship bracelets.
yes. And then like at the Eras tour, Scott would give out like guitar picks.
Oh yeah.
He would give out guitar picks. And so I think like they're two of the most supportive people ever.
Yeah.
And I agree that that's like such an important thing for a parent to do, is just to be supportive and to be so supportive to move your child from Pennsylvania to Nashville, Tennessee is wild.
Honestly. Mm-hmm. Okay, so they're going around with CDs.
So, and then when she's 15, she gets discovered at Bluebird Cafe in Nashville, Tennessee. Road trip. By Scott Borchetta. I think that's how you say his name. He was... I am not quite sure which company he worked for before, but he was starting up his own record company called Big Machine Records, and they had been looking for fresh young talent. He spotted Taylor and he said, I'm a signer.
Yeah. And
so he signs her. They begin working on Debut. Okay. Debut has songs like Tim McGraw, and she wrote that when I think when she was 16.
Okay.
And then, like, Our Song, she wrote that for her...
Banger.
Banger. She wrote Our Song, like, for one of her talent shows in high school. And so, like, Debut was purely just, like, a girl living her dreams.
Okay.
Like, Debut's not my favorite era. Okay. But I do think it's, like, such a hopeful era.
Okay.
Because she's just a small-town girl.
Yeah.
Getting to become this huge star.
Yeah. That's so true. Mm-hmm. Our Song, dude, banger.
That was my surprise song when I went to the Eras tour.
Oh, no way. Mm-hmm. Mine was 1,000 Wishes.
That's such a good one.
And the one that's like, you're going to go far, kid, on Midnights.
Oh, You're on Your Own, kid?
You're on Your Own, kid. Yes.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one.
So those were mine.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's Debut.
That's Debut. I feel like... if you want to know more lore about Debut, so she's in
Give It To Us.
Picture to Burn. She sings about a man named Drew.
Okay.
That was just a guy that she had a crush on, and that was like her first time. I don't want to say name dropping someone, but like being like Drew looks at me.
Yeah. Okay.
And so like
Drew sucks.
Yeah.
Does he? I don't know.
Last I've heard, he's not a good
Do the
person.
Swifties like Drew? Yes or no?
Last I heard, he's not a good person.
Oof. Sorry, Drew.
Yeah,
You're on our bad list.
Dunzo list.
Okay, so that's Debut.
Yeah. And like she's winning a lot of awards for Debut.
Oh.
Like she wins an award for Tim McGraw. She works with Tim McGraw for a little bit. And there's actually... I believe it's Kenny Chesney that she's supposed to go on tour with.
Yes.
With Kenny Chesney. I think they talk about this in the Miss Americana doc.
And I think it was also in her life. She's like the life person of the year.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was in that article as well.
But so yeah, it was. That's where I know it from.
I'm a Swiftie. What
Good
can
job,
I say? What can I say?
But she was supposed to go on tour with Kenny Chesney, but because I believe it's Kenny Chesney.
I think
you
so.
guys can fact check me on this.
Sorry about it.
Sorry about it. But she was supposed to go on tour with him, and it never, like, they find out that the concerts are like
the sponsors
are a beer company, and they won't let a 16-year-old perform with her. So, and that was like, they kind of felt like that was like her first big break, but she got more opportunities.
And then she was devastated.
Yes.
Because she couldn't. And he wrote her like a fat check.
I know. And yeah, that's true.
And she, in the Life article, she said like that is a major part of like getting there.
Yeah.
Look at me.
Yeah. It's like, and it's
actually, let me take over. Let me tell you about. No, I'm just kidding.
And it's time, not life.
Oh, time.
Not to be like.
I was gonna say life sounded. Yeah. Okay. No. Time person of the year.
Not to be like.
No, we need that. We need, because there is no fact checker on this show, so we got a fact checker. Welcome, it's first employee of the Vibe Provider podcast. Our fact checker.
Actually,
time person of the year.
Yes.
Okay. So are we wrapping up debut then?
Yeah, I feel like
next. Just kidding. Debut was like, good. Our song.
Yeah, debut was a fun time. That's where she started meeting like people like Joe Jonas, which would influence Fearless, and yeah. And I feel like debut was good because she won a lot of awards for him. She won a lot of like rising new star from debut, but I feel like Fearless definitely rocket launched her career, but that's also probably because that's when the same era that I became a Swiftie.
Okay, so let's get into Fearless then. Okay. So you mentioned, so she dated Joe Jonas before Fearless came out.
Yes.
Okay.
And there's a few songs on Fearless that are about, like, supposedly about Joe Jonas.
Okay, and are they good or bad or both?
Well,
because she's like not a big Joe Jonas person.
No. Well, they're friends now.
Are they? Because her friend Sophie.
Oh, that is true.
And I forgot that. Now she's divorcing Joe Jonas. Mm-hmm. I'm like,
Yeah, I thought I heard that they got back together though.
Oh, really?
I could be wrong.
We are just rolling with it. YOLO.
So like Forever and Always is a and it rains in your bedroom. Everything is wrong.
Please go ahead.
It rains when you're here. It rains when you're gone. But that one's about him.
Okay.
But I love the Fearless era. I'm gonna be honest. When I went to the Eras tour, that was like
you cried.
I cried.
Yeah.
I'll be real. I cried the whole time, but I think I cried the hardest at the Fearless era.
Which makes sense because that's the era you were like, I'm about this.
Yeah, and so like I think that's probably the most nostalgic era for me.
Okay.
Unfortunately, Fearless era is when the Kanye incident happened.
Okay.
The first one.
The first one when he's like, I'm going to give the mic back, but Beyonce.
Yeah, so it was 2009.
Okay.
And
she's like the worst day of our life in 2009.
Yes. And she actually references a lot as like the worst day of her life.
I believe it. That is humiliating.
Yeah. So if you're not familiar, it was the 2009, the VMAs. Taylor had just won Best Music Award for You Belong With Me.
Okay.
And little side note, her current boo thing at that time was Taylor Lautner, and he was actually presenting the award.
And he was standing right there.
Sorry, tangent over. But so Taylor's on the stage accepting her award, and Kanye comes up, just takes the microphone from her and is like, yo, Taylor, I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce had one of the best music videos of all time. And then he just kind of shrugs and hands it back to her.
And then she doesn't even know what to do.
No. And no one really knows what to do.
And her guy just stood there.
Mm-hmm. I don't think it was his fault. I think...
No, but he also didn't freaking karate chop him. That guy knows true. Kung Fu.
That is true. I have seen Twilight, Taylor. But anyways, but at the time, like, people were booing him, but at the time she thought people were booing her.
Yes.
And so, like, as a little rising star, as a little 19-year-old, like, how...
That's, like, ingrained in her memory.
Mm-hmm. Like...
As, like, a bad feeling, I bet.
Yeah. And so there's a lot of songs that I feel like awkward going era by era because a lot of the things that happen in Fearless, like debut, or like a lot of the things that happen in Fearless happen in debut.
Okay.
A lot of the things that happen during the Fearless era happen, like, are in Speak Now.
Yes.
So
because it's happening during that era, like, so whatever's happening during Fearless era is like gonna go into Speak Now.
Yes.
Yes.
Anyways, but so, like, that was just humiliating for her, and she talks a lot about it on Speak Now. Like, she references it in her, like, vault song from Speak Now that just recently came out in July.
Pause.
Yes.
So, I didn't know what vault tracks were until Taylor's version.
Yes.
So, there might be listeners who literally have no clue what a vault track is.
I got
or, so, with Taylor's versions coming out, the vault tracks are being released with the songs we know. But now, for new Swifties, there's like 4 to 5 plus songs that were like, oh, we've never heard of these, but people knew about them.
Yes.
OG Swifties.
Yeah, there's a few that you're like that if you, like, kind of were with the times, like, you would know that would be a vault track. Like, one of, and I totally meant to talk about this during debut, but she would be on, like, her record company did a really good job, or her management company did a really good job of, like, promoting her.
Okay.
Like, she was in the Hannah Montana movie, and she, like, wrote songs for the Hannah Montana movie.
Oh, wow.
So I am praying that You'll Always Find Your Way Back Home is one of the vault songs on debut, because she wrote You'll Always Find Your Way Back Home. And
that would be, I literally got the chills.
Yep. And so, like, I'm really hoping that she does that, because that's also a vault song, because she wrote it. And she did that a lot with the Red era. Like, when she re-released at Red, there would be songs that she wrote during that era that she gave to other people. Oh. But then she actually re-recorded them and put them on her vault track.
That's amazing. Yes. So when she, let's say, okay, we're going back in time, and she is dropping Fearless, because there's a vault track on Fearless, Mr. Perfectly Fine. Banger. Hard banger. That, I literally got the chills just thinking about the song. Okay. Okay, so she's releasing Fearless. How do people know about the vault tracks? Like, how did she...
She advertises them. So when she was re-releasing Fearless, and Fearless was the first Taylor's version to come out, she, like, would kind of slowly do, like, I believe she did Love Story first, like, Taylor's version. I was pumped.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have to feel guilty about my favorite song anymore. But, so then she kind of did the vault tracks as, like, a incentive for people to listen to the Taylor's versions.
Yeah.
So that you would
That makes sense.
And like, they were and she kind of describes them as songs that she wrote at that time but just didn't make the cut.
So which is so crazy, because when these vault tracks come out, they are like getting on the top charts. Like when 1989 got released, all the vault tracks were like on top Billboard top 100 songs. And it's so crazy that those didn't make the cut, and now we're like obsessed hearing it all over TikTok. It's on top 100 Billboard. Okay, so sorry.
No, that's okay.
New Swiftie, I'm trying to think of questions that, like, someone wouldn't know. So you could buy the vault tracks separately when she first released Fearless back in the day. Yeah. You could buy the vault tracks.
No. They were not available. Like,
wait, okay.
So, like, Mr. Perfectly Fine wasn't available to purchase. Like, you couldn't really listen to it anywhere, except for if someone had leaked it. Like, if someone had, I have no idea how they do this, but, like, if they somehow hacked something and was able to get access to that file and, like, released Mr. Perfectly Fine. Okay. That's how they would have.
Okay, I'm going to put a pause on our, like, little things.
Yes.
Okay, our mutual friend Megan.
Yes.
She had a Midnight's vault track on her phone.
Yes.
Before.
Yes. Okay. So that one, Midnights. So that was You're Losing Me.
Yes.
And she had, this one was kind of, it was like chaotic. That was like a chaotic 48 hours. So she had a concert. I don't remember where. I think it was like New York or something. But she like right before the concert, she was like, hey, just so you know, there is a new CD of a new version with a new vault track from Midnight's out, and a couple like Karma with Ice Spice.
Okay.
Snow on the Beach with more Lana Del Rey.
Okay.
And then You're Losing Me. But it was only available on the CD. That's the only way you could find it.
Okay. So Meg purchased it.
Yeah. And so I also purchased it.
Okay.
And I actually wasn't going to because I was like, she's going to put it on streaming tomorrow. Joke's on me. She didn't put it on until December.
But you still had it far before us. And then we were all losing our minds in December.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Okay. Back to our 3 specific debut Fearless Speak Now.
Yes.
So. You were telling us about the incident with Kanye and how that had a big impact. And then she mentions it in songs in Speak Now. What do we need to know about Speak Now?
John Mayer.
And we hate him.
Yes.
We Swifties do not like John Mayer.
Dear John Mayer, please do
because he was grooming her?
That's what people say. So when they met, she was 19. And I believe when they had started dating, he was late 20s, early 30s.
Ooh.
Yeah. And so, people thought it was very weird.
Okay. As they should.
This, 19-year-old was with this, late 20s, early 30s man.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to say grooming.
Yeah.
But, because I'm worried about, because he's been known to, sue people.
Oh.
Ooh,
this little old podcast with a couple hundred listeners. Which I love all of you. Thanks for listening. Hee hee, heart, heart, heart.
But when she actually did Dear John on the Eras Tour as a surprise song, she actually had this huge speech about being like, don't go attack whoever you think this song's about. Because we all know who we think that Dear
John Mayer. Yeah. Just kidding. Don't sue me.
But we all know who we think that Dear John's about.
Yeah.
But she has to play coy and be like, I don't know who this is about.
You don't know who I'm singing about.
Because Dear John is a popular phrase.
Yeah.
And so I think she played that very well.
Okay.
But
so Kanye, John Mayer,
Taylor Lautner.
But back to December, and she's like,
yeah,
you were good to me.
Yeah. Side note, back to December was when Megan and I were supposed to go to the Eras Tour. That was the surprise song, and we sat outside and cried because we couldn't.
As you should.
But anyways, the Taylor Lautner time was awesome.
He was good to her, right?
He was very good to her. They met on, I'm not sure if that's where they met, but they were together on the set of Valentine's Day.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and
it would make sense.
Yeah, and so that's they played cute little teenage love interests and love it. And in Back to December, she references that and when you held me in your arms that September night, the first time you ever saw me cry. She's talking about the Kanye incident.
Dang.
Because Kanye happened sometime in September.
Dang, dude, that's wild.
Yeah. And then I'm no one really knows what kind of drove them away from each other, but according to Back to December, I think Taylor kind of got in her head about the Kanye incident, and she thought everybody hated her. Not true.
Well, yeah, in the song, I try to listen to it. Once you kind of find out oh, that's about Taylor Lautner, it's has a whole different meaning when you or now when you listen, you're actually listening. Yeah. And I feel she knows. She's dang.
Yeah.
She's kind of I'm sorry. You were so good.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What else? Is there anything else? for us new Swifties. We got debut, which is like
just her starting out, her winning awards.
She like is gonna make it. She's getting big.
Yeah.
And then Fearless is freaking cute. Yeah. Freaking Kanye has to throw a wrench into things. And then Speak Now, we're like, okay, Taylor Lautner, you should have not passed on him.
Yeah. I can't really think of anything else. Did I send
that's
you
perfect.
Else?
Well, I mean, we have been chit-chatting for we've been yapping
quite a bit.
Okay, I feel like that's a good little intro into our Swiftie 101 with Emily.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
she's awesome.
She's a teacher in real life, and she's teaching us on the pod. Dude, well, thank you so much for coming on. Honestly, when I asked Emily, I was like, "Hey, can you come on the podcast?" Honestly, when you're asking someone to be a guest, it's kind of like, you know, not a lot of people feel super comfortable like, yeah, put a microphone in my hand and let me just yap. But because sometimes it takes a little bit of convincing. But when I texted Emily, she was like, how crazy do we want to get? Like, she was giving me ideas of like how we could do this. And I was like, this is the kind of energy I need. And so we, through texting, figured out like this is going to be a 4-part series.
Listen, I'll take any chance I can have to talk about
Dude. All right. Well, I really appreciate you coming on.
Of course.
And she is going to be our guest for this episode and the next 3. So again, thanks for coming on, and we, both of us, will see you guys next time. So see ya. Bye, guys.
Bye.